Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I actually have two union reads for you today. I ended up doing a union read after midnight last night, and then I decided to do one again this morning, and it's crazy the information that's coming through to me. I actually need to come together with my twin right now because I can't expand on any of this stuff without him. So I'm going to tell you what came through. It was pretty amazing, and I'm going to get right into it. If I have time, I'll do some oracle cards at the end as well, but I do have two full reads here. It is February 17th, 2019. It is, let's see, the 17 of the star energies of healing and dreams of shining your light. And the day adds up to 31-4, which is that 5 of Wands, that conflict, competition, and expansion energy. Okay. So maybe some, a little bit of chaotic energies around you, shining your light. Or healing. But that's definitely coming up today. But 31 is a 4 of structure and stability, and 17 is an 8. So there's very much that that manifesting energy and structured energy around us today. The major arcana for the first read, which was done at 12:55 a.m. last night. Okay, so about 1 a.m. But it was 12:55, so 55 came up again, which is the Ace of Swords, or the Truth. The major arcana for that read was Luna, which is the moon, Indigo, which is the magician, solar deity, which is the sun, and then what did I write down here? Oh, the hangman. The hanging man in this deck, but it's the Sirian Starseed deck as the main read. There are 2 wands, 1 cup, 3 pentacles, and 1 sword. The court cards were Knight of Wands, Queen of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and also the card after the read that I was pull, it was the Knight of Cups. So that was there as well. So 2 Knights, a Page, and a Queen of Swords. Not a ton with the numbers came up, but it was all about parenting. And then I believe parenting came up in the second read as well. So very much about parenting today. The numbers that came up were, in addition to 1, 6, and 7, 14, 13, 46, 34, 21, 31, and then as I began the read, 27 also came up. So again, the coding was all about parenting, about the divine feminine within the divine masculine, with the support from Source, God, Sophia 9, the collective consciousness, the feminine collective consciousness, that you guys are so good when you work together at you guys love so good when you work together and balancing and juggling and being a parent, okay? Also, Suede was coming up. Suede, pale indigo. So that might be a specific message for someone. But also, Go Speed Racer Go is coming up here when it came to parenting. Speed Racer was one of my favorites when I was young, when I was little. But Go Speed Racer Go, it hasn't come up for me in years. So that came up. And yeah, it's just juggling the parenting thing. And the 2 of Pentacles came up. Okay, so that juggling energy, but of just staying balanced with your kids. And that you guys love so good when you join forces. Okay, so as we got started the read, like I said, the number 27, but really 270 also came up. 3 flames present to 1 flame, seeing red. 2 cups for the divine feminine within the masculine, with God's support. The Queen of Wands is reversed, definitely coming up as the karmic energy, although it doesn't have to be the masculine's karmic. It can be any karmic around you, mothers, sisters, friends, whatever. Okay, but it can be the divine masculine's partner as well, if they're still with them. Queen of Wands reverse is praying, meditating, resting, looking back, and knowing the messages of truth. We're going on back and forth between them and sync. So this is it definitely can be the masculine's karmic now, kind of admitting to herself that she knew the whole time what was going on, but now the synchronicities are kind of off the hook. So she sees them whenever he sees them. So that's going on. The Knight of Cups is present to sadness and loss of prisoner he held hostage with their passionate growth and surrender of the pink rose. The growth of our passion is all around her now. She doesn't need to see, she knows. The bridge through 4D is long and less traveled, murky, and the dead of the past, not even children or priests immune to its hold. Only compassion for self as a whole. The tail end is here. A surprise awaits. A castle on a hill. An oasis, really. No fences needed to keep out the fray. Bird in hand, stick, tree, microphone, a handle on it. Physical touching on the menu at a special dinner for two. He raised heaven and hell to do so his sunshine could rise, stepped over his own. Children being negative, one sassy mouth, the other being a sex pot, seeing synchronicities everywhere, orchestrating deliberation of prior bad decisions. Excuse me just for 1 sec. Okay. And then presently surrendered. So I was definitely getting that for the masculine, but it's the union read, so it could be energies both ways for the masculine and the feminine. Worth waiting for was the underlying energy that came up, and flirt was below that. Romantic tie, flame, possibly out on a date, but definitely inspired. The Empress can no longer control him and must let go of her burdens now. Now it's like the Karmic's turn to let go, like where we went through all this stuff the past few years. It's like, you know, passing on the baton to the next round, the people who need to clear. Holding his nose, or covering his nose and pulling his fangs, Leo would tackle the boar to pull down his pants, forcing him to always do as she said, possibly with threats. Wanting to pull his fangs, so he'd no longer be like his twin. Red boots and palms, shield, shell, and dead bug, no more love bug, she's going to walk right over him. His royal white sheets on the floor with her boots on it. So this is definitely coming up as karmic energies pissed at the masculine, like she's not taking any more of the crap. But she's also being abusive here, okay? So there's no Adonis fountain or snake pit, or lovebird stick, or leather patch made for her or him, using as collateral to get whatever she wants. Any tusks are hers too, and now she's going to mud wrestle if she damn well wants to, okay? So it's just coming off as the energy of the karmic here. Nature comes up here as number 74. The card beneath that was adventure, which is number 55 again, right? Which is the Ace of Swords. 74 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, 6 of Pentacles. So it's that give and take sharing, that's nature. That perfect balance. And then adventure is 55 and the truth. When you're always in your truth, you're truly free because there's nothing to hide. You can do whatever you want and have that adventure, right? So the Queen of Cups, fairy princess, awaits at the ball, abandoned by insecurities, manipulators, twins now released from the warlock's prison. Time for engine to start pumping. And then I got chugga chugga choo choo. Trains coming in. Decorative lug nuts with astrological charts or special watch of the sun and Jupiter, and gold and piston engine and flowers everywhere in the garden. Sapphires adorn each knob or handle, cat's eyes bunnies and gold chalices with flowers. A gold pendant with special rubies embedded at quarter hours. Swords that shoot energy light streams and sparkles like being at the planetarium or being with Peter Pan and Wendy. 8 silver bullets and gold pennant inkwells. Magician hides, hoping she will forgive him. Destiny, surrender, and presence. So, destiny, surrender, and present, being present, but also presence. So, it's talking about presence in this read for sure, coming. Deliberation, worth waiting for. Confession, naturally forthcoming. Recently, the full moon waxing, journey to rejection. The Queen of Pentacles reverse may refuse to see the devil or Capricorn. So, if they're Capricorn, doesn't mean they're the devil. It's just that symbolic for Capricorn. So it doesn't have to be the devil energy. The Queen of Pentacles reverse may refuse to see this Capricorn and his way overdue wave. Full moon in Virgo, destiny present. The foundation being balance, righting the wrongs, forgiving the Empress reversed, at least healing, lack or miscarriage, decision to not go forward with project. Okay, so that's definitely some of the karmic energies, whether it's between the masculine and his karmic, or the divine feminine and her karmic. Centrally, the Knight of Wands flame in suffering cycles at night or full moons, and then I was getting Suffragette City again, to start over in love. The King of Swords pushes away energy stealer for the more balanced, humble choice, his divine feminine. The challenge being indigo proposal or manifestation, bad luck with travel, move, or car, or ascension with hermit on journey. Negative past with unstable union due to energy issues, now moderation, the name of the game, angel patience, Scrooge with the money for now, while meditating in 5D for epiphanies. Now, in the head or crowning the reed is wishing on that Disney star for that cup out of reach, to calm the ocean and make it still, to make it possible without floating away on a wave. Uncomfortable emotions of third-party incomplete world, seeing synchronicities, drained of power, independence, and finances, yet still giving what he can for his fate, in divorce or split and recovery from it, and not running away this time. It was just 11:11 during this. Holding on, Queen of Cups reversed, emotional but finding peaceful waters away from narcissist commitment, free to leap into nightmare, or put it out there. Bullseye likes the butt, Hatari and Tensen stuff, shockingly karmic and King of Swords, decides where to go from here, with flame between them. Soon, a new life for Leo and Hermit, fighting for attention of Libra, Taurus, or Court's decision, and or Mother, or Empress. Fool with open heart is offered money from the Empress to go away. So somebody might still be trying to tempt probably the divine feminine to go away. Or somebody could be trying to offer the masculine money to stay, so that he can still support them. Union is the Queen of Swords with truth on its side. King of Pentacles choosing path left with world in right hand, inspired again. So chemistry comes up about the magnetic attraction, soulmate, and true love. This is a romance of a lifetime, which is like, this card is coming up every read now. I came up in the second read as well. Around the union, or how it is seen, the sun so bright, exposing the King of Cups reversed in disconnect, right? Because if the King of Cups reversed, he's at least being emotional, maybe crying, or it could be very emotionally detached or manipulative, which happens sometimes in either circumstance. Like if you're feeling emotional or wronged, you become manipulative. So the King of Cups is coming up reversed in a disconnect, working hard to offer a new life. Clear blocks of learning psychic abilities, getting over loss and regret and arrogance, being satisfied with self without family. So these are all things you need to clear blocks about. Parenting came up here, and even more so, forgiveness and moderation for the union. The divine masculine is tugging on the heartstrings of the feminine to make sure she doesn't reject him. Hanging man with right knee block from abandonment issues and finding peace in his knowing, frustrated but in love. Blocking Empress and loving self first, the Knight of Cups gushes with emotion, with offer to help to settle debts or see if divine feminine just wants his money. So someone might be offering to test the waters for the masculine, like the karmic could even be doing this, to tempt the feminine with money to see if she'll take it over love. But the karmic may do this solely to get her out of the way, or in a scam to have time to steal more time with him, to try to steal money from the union, from their marriage or partnership. Magician Knight of Cups offers love and performance. Surrender without expressing feelings, allowing the transformation to lovers. So present to imbalance, the Queen of Swords exposes at the full moon the Knight of Wands proposal of new life, an opportunity to expand their abilities together on a wing and a prayer in the middle of high seas, rest, injuries, a chance for new perspectives, and for the Knight of Pentacles and Knight of Cups, so these are both movement cards, offering love and practical help to get to know each other. And that's funny because then I wrote to bed. That was at 2:33 last night. So I was up late last night. Alright, so I don't even want to tell you this. It was so weird when I woke up this morning. I don't usually remember my dreams. Most of my downloads come during consciousness. I've remembered very few dreams over the past 3 years, you know. So it's when a dream comes up for me, you know, it comes up. I woke up at 8:55, so here we are again at 55. It was just 15:22. 22 is the Fool taking the leap of faith, and 15 is that devil energy, okay? But it's of that daily life and dealing with shadow energy every day. We always deal with shadow energy. Well, number one, I woke up. When I woke up, I was dreaming that I was sleeping on my stomach. And it's so weird that Brad Pitt came into my dream, because he's not, I don't even like Brad Pitt anymore. But I did, you know, many years ago when Meet Joe Black came out, I loved the portrayal of that character in that movie because he was so pure. So that energy from that movie was coming through here, where he came over to lay with me and hold me and said so gently and sweet, touching my back barely, just in a very sweet way, just let me feel you. And I wondered why, and I woke up and I wondered why it wasn't my twin, but it just felt good to have that attention, that love and kindness, the adoration. And so as I was waking up and I wanted to remember it, to put it in to see what came up, I got moving is going, delivery, deliverance, and then I woke up. Moving is going, delivery, deliverance, and then I woke up. So obviously, it's, what does that mean? So I put it in, and a bunch of stuff about movers came up and deliverance. One deliverance site was blocked to openers. That was the first one. You couldn't even get in there because it was, you weren't allowed in. But it led me back to my own Facebook page, where they had, you know how Facebook sometimes will put up your pictures to remind you of stuff to use. Well, my picture from last year around this time, when I was at Bernathen Cathedral, which is a beautiful church, where there was geese. I was guided to go to Bernathen 12 days in a row. I don't know if that was last year or the year before, now I can't remember. But I was there for 12 days, and one of the days I was there was a ton of geese on the front lawn, and it was just beautiful to see those pictures again. But it brought them up for me to see. No, and I posted those around, I think it was around February 2018, it said. It was coming up again, some beautiful pics, and then I noticed some other, you know, I don't go on Facebook very much, but there's some nice pictures, and there's pictures of someone I used to work with, her wedding, and I was very happy for her. She was a very sweet, awakened person, I want to say. But I haven't seen her in a long time, but she had all these wedding pictures up, and it was really beautiful. She had lost her first husband, her daughter's father, you know, at a very young age, and here she was, you know, really happy again, getting married. So there were some really nice messages that came there, and then also some other friends who posted a picture with their dad, who I knew really well from my childhood, and he was always one of my favorite dads. So it was just really positive energies waking me up when I got up. As well as my nephew's wife, Jamie, has a baby belly, and her picture, and I haven't seen her since she got pregnant. So that was really cute, with a couple others as well. The second deliverance message was like, you know, a religious message to cast evil demons out, and it had everything to do with who we are as the twin flame community, that we're demons, and, you know, to cast all this stuff out. So that was interesting. And then I found another one, which was a Bible one, that I read a little bit, but it was nice. It was more like from a neutral perspective, and referencing Hebrew information as well, even though it was a Christian site. It was much more mellow. I actually liked that one. It was nice. So just bringing up, so I asked God, why was I woken up this way? Why was that Brad and not my twin? And so my answer was to shed light on showing me my worth. a man without ego who rises above negative self-talk and immature communication. And then I was literally got Meet Joe Black. That was my message. The underlying message: to see your children and your relatives who have been there for you and supportive during the journey, that they love you for you. And when you're bored or thinking of any your money issues or whatever it is, something that's not working, to just shine your light. And then I was getting the Holy Grail coming up. The angels reflect you and have blessed you with so much comfort and love. Be present. So it's very much about being present and being grateful for the things in your life, for the things that are working, right? And then I was getting major time to be present. And from deliverance, I was underlining deliver. So deliveries are coming in, but also liver. So someone might have to be good with their liver health right now. Also, see, when you're deliberating, you're liberating yourself. So stop vacillating about things. If it's not time, it's not time. Relax and pay no mind. And when it's time, you'll get guidance to allow it. And you'll know to take action because you'll be inspired. Don't take your own freedom away by deliberating. Then I was getting deliver, presence, presence. So deliver, but also stay present, but also presents are coming. Be present to the blessings you've got, okay, the presents that you've received. Then I was doing my routine, getting my juice and that kind of stuff, and I was getting that, it was weird, my mind just went to somebody I know, and the message was just coming up that love is easy. If you're having difficulty with someone, then it's time to spend apart a little bit, unless you can work it out, because love is supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be hard. It is not jealous, just like you would hear in the vows. It is not jealous or judgmental. But see, the same way you may feel about someone else may be reflecting back to you, so you can see the dynamic between you and your twin. Okay? Maybe they just want to be in your presence, just like you want to be in your twin's presence. But not when the cost is so dear. The fear of losing them for good. Allow the love. That love is effortless. Effortless. That was a very important word. Be present. And that love is effortless. And then I was also getting Forever Young. And as I'm cutting and dealing the second time this morning, I was getting, where is the love, where is the love? But that's not the only time it came up today. So where is the love kept coming up. So in this situation, where is the love? In this situation, where is the love? Okay? So when wherever there's discord, where is the love? And then Suffragette City came up again, which had to do with women's rights. So as we get into the second read, which now we are at 10:55 again, okay? So like I said, the read from last night was 12:55. This one's at 10:55 this morning. The major arcana were Higher Self, Justice, the Great Wheel, which is the Wheel of Fortune, Alchemy, which is the Temperance card, and Hermit. Actually, it's Reflection in this deck, and Hermit is the traditional. There were 2 swords, 1 pentacle, 1 cup, 2 wands, and the court cards were just the Page of Swords and Page of Cups. And the card after the read was the 9 of Pentacles, which I often see as a kid, so, or a teen or 20s person. It can be any age, because it's definitely a sovereign, but that was coming up as well, and it was obviously very much about kids coming up here. 2 pages and the 9 of Pentacles, which I see as the teen or 20s all the time. And then one of the cards that came up for the coding was parenting, personal growth and parenting for the union. The numbers having to do with this code were 3399, 67, 39, and 12. And the message here, and of course 3 and 9 were here as well, but the message about personal growth and parenting, some of the different perspectives I got was that 3, see the key of the 9. 9 is the hermit, or the collective consciousness, the wise one. As the high C, take high vitamin C, but also that high Kohan, right? That you are the master of yourself, and high C's, okay? High C's, when you have high C's, that means there's rough water there. Okay, so 3 is the Empress, but it also could be that Trinity, also can just be expressing yourself, because it's the 3 of self-expression. 3, in being authentically you, see the key to the collective consciousness in high vitamin C or high Kohan, mastering yourself, and the high C's of being emotional and having to find 0 point again. There is divine justice here. And then what came up was I, like small I, N-E, and then small I, O-N, like ion. So it was I-N-E, like I-N-E, like iodine, but also I-O-N, like an ion, which definitely came up, like crazy information was coming up for me today. And it's going to be interesting to see what came up here as far as the definitions. So I-N-E could definitely be northeast, I northeast. It could be having to do with Jesus and as the masculine, and Eve as the feminine, the divine masculine and the feminine coming together. And then it was I on personal growth and parenting today. So the northeast, when I looked it up, there was a company, Noble Corp, which was priced $3.13 today. On Netflix, Neon, Nebraska, but Lincoln also came up for Nebraska, so, and Lincoln just came up this week. And also New England, No Effects, and Northeast were abbreviations for NE. Also, NE came up as a meaning for new, like neo and neoplasm, or ne-arctic, which is literally NE, Arctic. Also in French it means born, or fresh, young, fresh, new, which came up for me before this, forever young. So that was definitely confirming that. Okay, that you are born perfect. And French was coming up. My father was born in France, so it's a kind of an ode to my dad when the French stuff comes up. But also, the French root is G-E-N-H with an accent forward. I forget which one's what, grave and aigu, but the accent forward E-N-H is the root of ne, to beget, to give birth. Also, it can mean in different languages. It was like, yeah, like responding to something, look, see, and also meant nor, so nor this, nor that, okay. So the Empress sees the key in the Hermit, the wise one, the collective consciousness, the high Kohan in mastering oneself through higher self, divine justice, that I am young, fresh, and new, with I on personal growth and parenting. Okay, so that's what your guidance is today. And then I also looked up CHO, C-H-O, from Kohan, and it came up as the code for Charlottesville, North Carolina, the airport, and also Korean. It's a Korean name, but also there was a mass Korean murderer that came up under that, CHO. But it's also an ancient Japanese unit of measure, 109.1 meters, or 357 feet and 11 inches. And then currently was coming up in Japanese as 2.449 acres, or 0.9917 hectares, or hectares. I don't know how they're pronounced. But anyway, and in geometry was coming up as the cubohemiocedron in geometry, the CHO. So it had multiple meanings. And then I was getting into ion, right? So an ion is a non-zero net electrical charge atom, okay? So when total electrons are more than the protons, it's anion with a negative charge. When it's more protons than electrons, it's more of a positive charge or cation charge. In case of physical ionization in a medium such as gas, and notice the words used in these definitions for science. In case of physical ionization in a medium such as gas, ion pairs are created by ion collisions, where each generated pair consists of a free electron and a positive ion. Also, ions created by chemical interaction, such as dissolution of a salt in liquid. So notice the word here. Dissolution is taking away the solution of a salt in a liquid. All right, so breaking the salt down in a liquid, making it all liquid, or other means such as passing a direct current through a conducting solution dissolving an anode via ionization. So it also means going ion. And my words were transference of matter through solution. Okay, so whether that be us physically in solving problems, or literally transference of matter by breaking it down into a solution first, into liquid, so that it's fluid. So solid, then the definition goes on, solid crystalline salts dissociate into pairs. Okay, so when they dissociate, when you put the crystalline salts into the water, the crystals dissociate into pairs when they become fluid of charged particles when dissolved. And that was actually in reference to a 1903 Nobel Prize in chemistry. So in my words were fluidity. That had nothing to do with them. And my words were that transference of matter through solution. Don't need to be solved. You don't need to be solved. When you're okay with yourself, you go with the flow. You become fluid, plasma. As opposed to solids and spaces, perpetual creation. Crystals made into fluid. A little light, message, communication, news, child that rises above present moment to prevent the Queen of Swords from speaking this truth. Separation is coming out as solution good. 3 parts electrons, ionic, need 4 positives or protons to be positively charged. Okay, so you're using these in its definition, but also in its comparison to the twins. Okay, 3 will keep going back to 2. For balance until 3 is able to expand to proton or 4, where then the neutrons would be more than the electrons. So there's some kind of something that was coming up here that I need expansion on. But anyway, a lot of stuff was coming up here that I had to figure out. Since the electronic charge on a proton equals in magnitude to charge on an electron, the net electric charge on an ion is equal to the number of protons minus the number of electrons, or 4 minus 3 equals 1 positive charge, 2 minus 3 equals negative 1 negative charge. Neither good or bad, they attract each other in order to complete. And then I got you complete me. Take 1 of 3 electrons and give away, take 1 of 3 protons to stay. And then I was writing some formulas down, and I was getting the 6 in the monads. So there's some kind of computation here that I need help with from someone who knows their science stuff. But yeah, definitely some stuff was coming up here. Happy, satisfying alone, to heal and shine light, to hold space for connection, coming together to co-create with ideas and new inventions. Just a spark of inspiration is all that's needed. And then the monad came up, and the definition I looked up. a single unit, or 3 in meiosis, or M, and it breaks down, I say it that way, me, IO, and cis. And we're just talking about ions, right? So me, IO, EIO, but also that's like the 1, 0 of the 10, that high vibration. Me, 10, cis. Okay, and that could have to do with your sister or something else that resonates for you. Or it could be ios is. Me, ios is. So whatever that means to you, it definitely was bringing something to me. The single chromosome derived from a tetrad after the first and second maturation divisions. Okay, so the monad. So some definitions were just about its solidarity, basically, that it is within itself, you know, its whole world. But a single unit, you know, or 3 in this meiosis, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, the single chromosome derived from a tetrad after the first and second maturation divisions, so in cell division. And then from Haskell.org, composable computation descriptions. Separation of composition timeline from composed computations execution timeline, as well as its ability of computation to, I don't know what I wrote here, to implicitly carry extra data in addition to its 1, hence its name, monad, 1, output that it will produce, the 1 output, when run or queried. It's also from Britannica is Greek unit, elementary, individual substance that reflects order of world from which material properties are derived. First used in Pythagoras as name of the beginning number of a series from which all following numbers are derived. So it's saying it's that which from the whole family is derived from, all in one. So it can be one thing, it's its whole universe, or it can be one thing expanding and all of that still becoming the whole universe of that one, you know, the laws of the universe. Everything is based on those laws from the first. Also from I don't know if I wrote it right. From dictionary, Liebritz, unextended, indivisible, and indestructible entity that is the basic or ultimate constituent of the universe and microcosm of it. If you understand it, this is me, if you understand it, you understand all. That nothingness is everythingness. Oh, and then this was really cool that came up here. So then I was getting, this is from the cards, all right? So the Ace of Swords was below the Ace of Wands, below another Ace of Wands above it, and you'll see it in the picture from this read. Co-creation with the ultimate truth, or quanta, or antimatter, with the ultimate inspiration, arousal, sex, matter. Sex and birth, conception. Ace of Cups, unity, fluidity, brings them together, and Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, expands, ionic energy, manifestation. Okay. And this is just from what I'm getting. I mean, I don't know science in this respect. So, and then I was seeing, like, you know, those collapsible cups that come together within each other. I was getting that the truth, or the sword, or Excalibur, inside the wand, inside the pentacle, which is the earth, and then I was getting, where is the love again? Passion on a stick, sword in the stone. The stone becomes more fluid to shapeshift into anything you want with growth. The key is the love. Who can pull the sword from the stone? But why would you want to? The metal from the earth, taking minerals and metals the earth needs. Where is the love? And Spirit keeps connecting with me. Now it's making me want to cry. Take the first steps, actually the second and third steps. To right the wrongs, be the first, to inspire triumph for animals and nature. The full moon is out, the stars as well too. Use its power of reflection to stand up for your passions and ground, especially if you live in the city or near the city. Major manifestations are coming up now. Don't disclose all to others, but to connect, you need his manly parts. And then I was getting the combination of the exclamation point and the I, which I've brought up in a lot of my codes before. So it's the manly parts in the egg to germinate, just like sex, right? It's the quanta of how the egg and the sperm come to life. And how they come to germinate. But you need the love. Like in the cards, it was first coming up with the swords, the truth, and the inspiration of the wands. And there's even some pentacles represented there, but there were no cups. And it was like, kept saying, where is the love? Everything else is here. Where is the love? To become one with nature, and it will protect you. Ground your energy into it every day. Be inspired to 1, 2, 3, jump. Exclamation point, reverse exclamation point, I. 69 is new life. It's literally the Ace of Pentacles, new life combined. You can think of it in a sexual connotation. It doesn't matter to me. It's just about the balance. It's not about, the sexual position. It's about the new life, the full contentment, when you're completely balanced. The moon reflects the egg. And isn't that the zodiac sign for, is it Cancer? I forget. But the moon reflects the egg. The sun, the sperm, and its rays. You notice the moon doesn't have rays, only the sun. And then I was getting, again, that card, true love. Okay, this is a romance of a lifetime, and soulmate was the card beneath that. The Knight of Pentacles with a friendly offer is out. The Six. The Six of Cups is the children in the garden. This card comes up along with the Knight of Pentacles. They're out in the open with a friendly offer. The Six of Cups is the two children, the twins in the garden, reminding us in the fall, making love in the kitchen with copper pots on the wall and herbs on the stone, or I actually wrote stove, but it wrote stone, herbs on the stone and or stove, mirror, sword, and cup, chalice on the dresser with vines intertwined in how to use our messages. And Nightmare Story, movie made in heaven, Actors Guild, portable cauldron and crystal, sword, black cat and mirror, and cement, brick, and mortar. It's our story now. Let's manifest some abundance. Let's get going. It's springtime. Okay? So there's time out here, and nature. Time out's 37 of the King of Cups, that unconditional love, and nature is 74. Coming up is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of Pentacles. 1, 2, 6. I'm sorry, 6 of Pentacles. That balance, nature's natural balance. And the cards were coming up as purple and green, that natural combination that I always see when I go into meditation, the purple and green. So whether it's purple and green or magenta and green, it's still that masculine feminine balance. Matching feet. So one's right toe to another's left hip. Someone's left side may be red. And a divot in the hip. Clothes on the floor by the bed with heart coin of chocolate and keychain and heels to match. The Divine Masculine is hiding his lit torch, ready for some of that. Not just an observer. Before someone else gets her, and she gets me back. So this is coming from the masculine. The Queen of Wands reverse is also out watching, up at night thinking of how to rise above, laying down their sword and apologizing for holding him to the fire and forcing Bambi to watch. So some of the karmics may have forced their masculines to have sex even when they don't want to get back at the Divine Feminine, who they knew would feel it. And obviously this is not all the karmics, but it's definitely some. 3 swords at his right shoulder, 1 blue eye showing. Someone, and I literally actually, I don't get a lot of remote viewing stuff, but when I closed my eyes one day, I literally saw like someone just like walking in, having sex with my Divine Masculine and walking away, and then like, you know how someone looks up at the security camera? She was looking, whoever this, it was hard for me to see who it was, but was looking right up at the camera to make sure that I saw them. So there's definitely some of that karmic energy going on, and that had nothing to do with my read here. One blue eye showing, someone getting high on grass to numb themselves from abuse and neglect. Forgiveness needed, the Knight of Pentacles to rescue, to save the day in a practical way. Faceless astronaut in lizard skin, cartoon character who can't get to their sword on time at the side of the bed, cased in red, sleeping on the couch, wicker uncomfortable, or old lace with bow tie pasta, suit of armor, blue eyes hidden in royal lineage. No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. That was coming from your masculine. 3 dark of 10 in the flock, or 10 good and 3 bad or dark, or 3 chaperoning the 10 and separate, which I saw when I came home yesterday when I was driving. I literally saw a flock of birds that I was admiring because the shapes they were making were really beautiful, and then as soon as I passed them I saw 2 birds flying alone with the flock but separate. Okay, so, or there could be 3 birds chaperoning the 10, separate to sacrifice for the good of the whole, not to die, but to be seen as dark. But how else would the others be seen if they didn't allow themselves to be the dark ones? Besides, it's karmic, and they reaped what they are sowing now, until green and gold arrives on the scene, the humble servant. And then the male energy, the penis was coming up here, a rise across the land as the divine feminine takes a stand. Children rise to the occasion as well, reaching out and visiting. Parents. New passion times 2, true Ace of Wands. True love, this is a romance of a lifetime, news at 10, time out for this break as nature heals itself. Instead of prisons, they should all be called rehabilitations. Half of them wouldn't even be there if they weren't judged as bad or dark as abused children. Recently, Sovereign, wise white old owl, a hoot, Queen of Wands without a message about coming together, or just her own negative self-talk at work. Sons and daughters and aunts, a major source of inspiration for both twins. The foundation for this read is the Page of Cups with wide open heart, without an option but to move forward and get back on the horse. And offer true love, romance of a lifetime. Center of the reed for the union, higher self, leading the way past rejection. The King of Swords juggling to stay balanced right now, but checking himself occasionally. So keeping himself in check. Discussion at the gate about sweets and tweets and scroll work. Hermit is grounding under a tree, wondering where flame is, while the challenge for the union is divine justice. Blind but fair in the aftermath of new information and clarity about the King and Queen of Pentacles. Empress losing hope of keeping her upper hand or high energy. Feeling demise, they only think of her as a clown. Well, actually, the demise wasn't coming up there. So divine justice, blind but fair, in aftermath of new information and or clarity about the King and Queen of Pentacles' demise. So this could be different sets of couples, and actually within the same read it can represent 2 different people. It can represent the Karmics, but it also can represent the twins. So the King and Queen of Pentacles were coming up upright, but possible demise here of any of marriage or something like that. And the Empress losing hope of keeping the upper hand or high energy, feeling they only think of her as a clown. Okay, so that could be anyone depending on your situation. It could be the Karmic, it could be the feminine, it could be the mother, okay, or it could be a sister, someone in their life, or a boss. But someone, the Empress is feeling like a third wheel, and like they only see her as a clown, or someone is married or contracted. Married or contracted, the King and Queen of Pentacles are whistleblowers for the justice system. Like literally that could be their job. And they may be just contracted to do that together. Or now divorced, but pretending that all is well for the children or for whatever. While the Empress is depressed, discussing where to go from here. Now, crowning the reed is suffering over release of the King of Wands, who may be impatient, but he was upright though, he wasn't reversed. But just a little impatience there of the release, because they're excited once they're released. And the Queen of Swords deceived due to lack of opportunity of money to come forward for the masculine, and lack of love felt by the Queen of Swords and some jealousy. that he was insincere, but now she's free. Twins emotionally detached, dropping burdens, confessing, hermiting, as the Empress pretends she's the shit, while the King of Pentacles reversed and her have split, not seeing eye to eye, new life for the Queen of Pentacles and King of Pentacles, commitment to ultimate fantasy family, mirroring and healthy life. If Sag female drinks or does magic, she can leave. He'll show her the door. So it was like the masculine's coming up here to say, you know, don't worry about the karmic in the life. You know, if she acts up, we'll show them the door. Soon destiny knocks as the Grim Reaper meets, and this could be Grim Reaper freshly divorced, meets Forrest Gump, free with heart open, not working, holding back energy, and can't focus in separation from self and new love. Union is an alchemical process of walking away, grieving until finding satisfaction on your own, getting to know each other, letting go of control issues, playfulness, and heart-to-heart conversations. Around the union, or how it is seen, one great flame burning. The Queen of Pentacles present amidst a Leo and a Cancer, both reversed. Leo needs courage to be brave to journey on their own, and the Cancer needs to let go of chaos, drama, and a militant attitude and find the straight and narrow, or integration. The union, both the masculine and feminine, need to clear blocks of good news, success, attention, all the good stuff that you don't think you're worthy of. The journey, the Emperor needing to pay, like to owe something, you know, let go of all the preconceived notions that there has to be an apology. Injustice of third party and overindulgences, over-deliberating. Parenting comes up in personal growth, but even more so, forgiveness. Okay, the word of the hour. And reunion to end the pain. Hermit with the light in their cave, and I was getting ion right here as a reference. Detoxing, coming out from over-isolating after tossing out karmic, or vice versa. Freeing self for destiny by wheel of fate. Both proud of themselves, the masculine and the feminine, that they met with death and won. The divine feminine's heart lacking faith due to worth, or the divine masculine feels this, that she has so many options, why pick him? Well, the masked boy with inner flame is the only one with the key to Rapunzel's tower. Others left waiting at the door. However, all must leave masks at the door, she says to the masculine, but bring flame with you up to the tower. She loves you and just wants to feel your warmth. No expectations, just love. Completion of committed cycle or contract is done, dysfunctional family over, magician is at work manifesting, and truly inspired, possibly for a date, definitely with destiny, his fate. Okay, message of heart, expansion, exploding into alchemization, present to flame, sovereign higher self, justice a challenge, but destiny sublime with good news, suffering over for hermit and e-tower with masked boy, message from kids open to higher self and getting over pain and stress with justice, truth, and balance. Alchemy destined at present, attention and success, good news is wisely reflecting at e-tower, allowing others in, specifically the masked boy with the flame. Okay, so I hope you liked all that. It was just 5335. 53 is considered a catapult. It's that Knight of Swords rushing with the truth. And then the 35 is the Wounded Warrior, Mary Magdalene. So it's very much about the Wounded Warrior rushing in with the truth. Take a deep breath for the Ascension. The Ascension deck. Here. Okay. So Mary Magdalene just came up. We're going to ask Mary Magdalene for this February 17, 2019. And the full moon's coming up on the 19th. For everyone watching, the best and highest good of all those concerned. Mary Magdalene, what is it we need to know? What is it we need to learn? What is your guidance? El Moria. El Moria is 44, which is that mastering. It's also the 8 of manifestation. It's the weight of the world upon your shoulder with Atlas, and it's also the Four of Cups of either being bored, feeling sorry for yourself, or just grounding and integrating. It's time to be bored, you know, just have some downtime to allow things to germinate. Okay, so that's the underlying energy, El Moria. And El Moria came up the other day as the first ray. So it's important. So El Moria is representative of the Manu, the perfected man, whom the new root race of humanity with its 12 strands of connected and active DNA will be based. You are to lead by example, employing through self-discipline, strength, and integrity of an ascended master. You are reminded to use your power for the high, only for the highest good. I stand in my power. All right. So first these two came out, Jesus and Lady Portia. Lady Portia's partner of Saint Germain. Okay, Jesus here is 40 and Lady Portia's 32. And then Cosmic Heart also came out, number 9, which is the Hermit. 40 is the Page of Cups, which came up. And then 32 is that 6 of Wands, which came up. And then some extra cards came out, but I think it was just for numbers. Well, I'll show them to you anyway, but 3 more cards came out. So 6 cards altogether. Where is the love? That's what it was for. They're so funny. Lord Kumika, Kuan Yin, and 12 chakras. And we just brought up the 12 chakras, so that's important as well. Okay. So Lord Kamika's 42, which is the 2 of Cups. Kuan Yin's 43 is the 3 of Cups, which the read ended on. No, I'm sorry, not with that. I was actually just talking to my son, and his read ended on the 3 of Cups, so I was confusing myself. But 43 is the 3 of Cups, and then 1 is the Magician. Lord Kamika, Kuan Yin, and 12 chakras. So I'm going to read to you the first 3. 6, 7, 1. Alright, so we have, what's missing here? 1. 1, 2. Yeah, 2, so 2, 3, and 8 are missing. All the other numbers are actually represented here. So 2, 8 is the twins, and then 2, 3 is the King of Wands, and then 3, 8 is the Queen of Cups, which very much represents the masculine and the feminine. Because Queen of Cups is always very much in her heart, and the masculine is, you know, coming up as the King of Wands, the man of passion. So that was a message as well. So let me read you at least the first 2 anyway. Jesus and Lady Portia. So Jesus is 40. Jesus came from Venus, planet of love. He was sent to Earth to carry the Christ light at a time when the energy was very low. He incarnated as an Essene and received spiritual teachings throughout his childhood and adult life. Then he underwent many initiations to prepare his energy centers to carry the vibration of unconditional love. Where is the love? This card reminds you that all challenging people and situations are tests to prepare you for the ascension. To pass these tests, you need to respond to them with unconditional love and balance. Remember, there is only love. The affirmations, I respond with unconditional love today. And of course, asking Mary Magdalene, of course, Jesus is going to come up here. But we also have Lady Portia here, number 32. She's known as the goddess of justice, which was, divine justice was a big deal today. As Lord Karma, she tempers justice with mercy and balance. In order to act with these golden qualities, you must let go of your own projections and prejudices and see the whole picture. When you receive this card, Lady Portia is calling on you to review an aspect of your life or relationships to bring it fully into the 5th dimension. Be generous-hearted, open-minded, and fair, and step aside from judgment, and then your ascension path will be showered with gold. The affirmation is, I am fair-minded, open-hearted, and non-judgmental. Okay, so you're really being called on to master today. Master the love. Alright, and then we have the past life deck. So again, pose to Mary Magdalene, please. And Jesus. Mary Magdalene and Jesus. We'll bring you both in. Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene and Jesus. Clear line. Clear line. Okay. Okay, so again, this February 17, 2019. For everyone watching, in the best and highest good of all who's concerned. To Jesus and Mary Magdalene. What is it we need to know? What is it we need to learn? What is the message? Where's the message? Oh, God. They brought like a book out for me. All right. Communal living is at the bottom. The underlying energy. Okay. So, learning to live together in harmony. Where's the love? Okay. So, first two that came out were biblical and male-female. And that's very much of the Eight of Pentacles, I always say, because he looks like the Eight of Pentacles. He's working on the fourth leg of the union. Okay, he's humble servant, working with his hands, being creative. And also to make sure to realign your energies back to back. Before getting into heavy conversations, align your energy first. Give yourself a few minutes to acclimate. And it's saying for the masculine to, when you get frustrated, make sure you have a hobby to go work on physically. Or certainly go work out, that kind of stuff as well. But have a creative outlet, it's saying, for both the male and the female. That's why it was so important for you to become balanced on your own before coming into union, because when you get triggered, you need to have that solidarity. You need to know that you can go do something that's going to make you feel good, you know, or let off some steam, whatever it is. So that was definitely coming up first. And also the Jesus and the carpenter thing. Jesus and Mary Magdalene. They're saying that they had arguments too. Very cute. Alright, so the next two that came up, these came up like this actually. Alright, so I'm getting both ways. Okay, so you have spouse and unrequited love, so there's definitely divorces coming up here, but there also could be issues with mothers here as well. Okay? There could be other third parties involved with the situation, but either way, you don't need that negative energy in your space. You know, your spouse will come first. You know, you guys are one unit, so it's always you guys have to come first with each other because you're one. You can't put something else before self, and you are each other's selves. So you have to put each other first. And there's others who may not like that or may not understand it, why that has to be. Alright, and then a whole bunch of other cards came out. So 1, 2, there was 4 that came out and then another 4. So 4 and 4 are 8, and like I said, 4s and 8s, there's very much about manifestation. 4 is the manifestation of the lower energies of survival here on this planet, but 8 is the manifestation of your dreams, the mastering of your abilities here on this planet. And of course 8 is that perfect balance and staying at 0 point. The vortex, the vacuum. And it's interesting how they came up on these 2s reversed like this. Each one was 1 up, 1 down. So here we have again the Greco-Roman card with the Colosseum with the sun breaking through, and then transportation is reversed. Maybe you shouldn't travel right now. And I was getting chugga chugga choo choo. I don't know if there's going to be a train accident. Ah. 2 who have been staying in their lane for a long time may crash. And it's not just, it may be literal, but also it's just metaphorical, right, for the twins coming together. They may crash into each other, which actually came up in the scientific messages today as well. It's time. Oh, the timer, it's off. It went off. It's time to switch tracks. Time to change lanes. Time for breakthrough. At the Lincoln Memorial, the White House, the Colosseum, the Romans. So there may be all of those aspects involved in this. Assassination? I'm getting the gravy train as well, having to do with politics. They're making me cry again. They're getting me to bring up David, and also David and Goliath, and also the David, the statue, to not forget about them. Spirit's connecting with me. David and Goliath, because that's also like the Colosseum, right? And then the statue of David, the great art, the pillars of the community, the great pillars of the buildings that were built, these beautiful, magnificent buildings, works of art, the details, the breakthroughs, Stonehenge, the libraries. So of course Akashic Records is coming up there too, but that's Greco-Roman too. It's coming up a lot about Greece and Rome. And something about the train and accidents, but also switching tracks. So the time is up, time to switch tracks, to get off your train and onto another one, because it may be time to collide actually. What's that song? Collide. I can't think of it. Alright, I got 2 more to go still, guys. They're getting me today. Alright, let's see here. We have Mother again and food and hunger. Okay, so someone is no longer going hungry. Okay, so single mothers. This is an ode to single mothers, for all those single mothers, including presidents' mothers. And mothering your inner child and your twin, like I've been telling you, like I go into my inner child and then my masculine's inner child, and how they are dealing with each other, and making sure to always continue to do your separate talents and then bring them together, to use them together, whether it's psychic or from a book. Whether it's the masculine's logical knowledge or the etheric knowledge. But here it's so much about making sure all the children of the world get fed, and that's always been one of my big charities, is always children and the hungry. So not just hungry children, but all hungry people, but children were another one of my focuses. So that's coming up to make sure that no child goes hungry. But maybe not bread. Maybe not bread and water. Maybe something more healthy. And definitely not a rusty cup, which a lot of children do, in third world countries. But also for single mothers, to help them out when you can if they're struggling in their wingback chairs. Okay. And I was getting that, because no one ever thinks of Mary Magdalene as a single mother. She's saying, she's bringing it up from her. Clear and align. Clear and align. Clear and align. Clear and align. Alright. So again, one more time for the journey of love. From Jesus and Mary Magdalene, for everyone watching in the best and highest good of all is concerned on this February 17, 2019. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? From Jesus and Mary Magdalene. 2. I'm not going to read 4, but she is the moon, number 21. Okay. Number 21 is completion. It's the world. It's a 3 of expressing yourself. And it's the masculine and the feminine. It's the 1 of the masculine, the 2 of the feminine. It's 3, co-creation. She is the moon. Modest and true. and the masculine coming up humble, like the match between the two. Alright, so the first two that came up were, and again that was 21, 3. We have 3 to 1, which just brings up what we just talked about, 3 to 1. I love how it does that. It was just 11011. So much about justice and a turn for the better, that high vibrational divine justice. Alright, 3 to 1. And then also that's number 10, the high vibrational again. And then 61, which is risk taking. That's that 7 of swords. It's saying, and this is she loves. 3 to 1. She loves. The divine feminine finally gets justice. They're in the vortex together with their third energy. And her chastity belt. Alright, what were the other two? The other two are knowing without knowing, number 41, which is the Ace of Cups, and heart of the moment, which is the Tower. And they both came up recently, which is 16 is the Tower, 41 is the Ace of Cups. Okay, so they're very different. I'm getting candy from those two. Candy. Oh, I haven't had candy in a long time. And yesterday I went. The day before yesterday, I went out and got some Ferrero Rochers, and I was eating too many Ferrero Rochers yesterday and the day before. But candy's definitely coming up here, like chocolate hearts and butterscotch. That comes up a lot with the colors too. Somebody must like butterscotch or caramel. That's definitely coming up here. And cherries, chocolate with cherries, or some kind of you know, juicy inside, not just cherries, but the yellow juicy stuff, whatever it is. But that's coming up for someone. And mustard seeds, good for the heart. And someone's at this spa getting her hair done. I can see the big thing over her head. Alright, so I'm going to read the first two. I won't read all 4 of them. It's a lot. So we have 10 and then 61 she loves. 10 is 3 to 1. I haven't read that in a while. Alright, 3 to 1. There is heavenly child in your midst. It may be within your heart, in your womb, or a glimmer in your eye, soon to be. This child holds the key to fulfillment of a process that is happening for you now. The child might be a physical culmination of your marriage or commitment to another. It might be a symbolic birthing of a new self after a time of learning to bring male energies of protection and discernment together with female energies of feeling and creativity, whether within yourself or in your relationship with another. The child might symbolically be a new life, an improved relationship, a book, a new job, a completely renewed way of dealing with what was once a challenging issue and so soon will not be an issue for you anymore. Just to name some examples, from masculine to feminine to child, there is now just one, a new reality dawning with grace. This oracle holds a message for you. New life is upon you now. You're being reborn, and you will give birth to what is meant for you in this lifetime. There's no need to worry. Just pray with an open heart that you may be supported to fulfill your destiny. You are ready, of course, but prayer can help you realize it. The rest is in the loving and capable hands of the divine. The poem reads, love is what makes the heart beat faster, the lump in my throat, the feeling of missing you so much. But I can't wait to be with you again. And then we are, and I look in your eyes deeper, and I know the unspoken words that say I love you, and feel words in return. How short each lifetime seems, but what I feel with you lasts forever. May love be the compass that guides you on the course of a lifetime. Alright, so you're birthing here. You're in the vortex. She loves, number 61. And of course I was talking about birthing in the read today. 61 is she loves. Forgiveness is here for you now, and forgiveness was one of the cards that came up as big time for you. Can you partake of it? Forgiveness for your own self, for the times you messed up, didn't love, forgot to trust, tried to take over and decided against surrender. Forgiveness is here for you now, for the times when you couldn't forgive another, even if you really tried and really wanted to. She loves. She is here for you now. Open your heart to the angel goddess of forgiveness and let her fill your heart. You are free. This oracle brings you a message from the divine. You are forgiven. You are worthy of forgiveness, and you are capable of great spiritual generosity in forgiving others. If there is a person that you cannot forgive, you are really just not forgiving yourself. Perhaps for being vulnerable, for not knowing better, or for not listening to your own intuition. It's time to let that go and allow the forgiveness that the divine has for you to fill your heart. You are free now. You just need to realize it. The cherry blossom knows when to bloom each year and never questions whether its beauty is enough. There is peace in knowing you always bloom well, yet a man spends a lifetime in wonder. It wasn't a man, but yet man, so man in general. Okay? So you're always enough and never question whether you did something wrong or not. You can't mess up. Okay? So I think that's enough for today. I got to show you the reads. Alright, so this is the first one from last night. They're both union reads. And then the one I did this morning at 10:55. I'll show you that one. Where is it? And then this is the read from this morning. Okay. Alright guys, make sure you drink plenty of water, get your rest. Energy's a little bit more stressful right now, but you can handle it. Right? 1:17:17. Okay, be good to yourselves guys. Rise and be loved.